The 2021 MLB season is sadly over, but we saw a lot of great things this year. We saw highly rated prospects make their debuts, we saw some teams surprise everyone, and we saw an 88-win Atlanta Braves team win the World Series without their ace Mike Soroka and Ronald Acuna, who's a top 5 player in the MLB. Today I will be celebrating the great things players and managers did this year by talking about who should win certain awards and why they deserve it. Before I get into it, I want to clarify that this is who I think is the most deserving, not who will win. So let's get into it. The American League and National League have their own Comeback Player of the Year award, but I thought only one guy should really have this award this year, and it's Trey Mancini. Last year, he missed the entire 2020 season due to a fight with colon cancer. He kicked cancer's ass, and it looked like he was never gone. Mashed 21 homers, batted .255, had an OPS of 758, had a WRC plus of 105, and a WOBA of 326. I know those aren't fantastic numbers, but considering what he went through last year, I think it's incredible that he's still performing well enough to contribute to his team. This is an award I made up, and honestly, I feel like they should have this kind of award. Now, who do I think is deserving of this award? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Now, he did put up solid numbers in his first 2 years, mashing 24 homers, batting .269, had an OPS of 778, a WOBA of 332, and a WRC plus of 107. But he wasn't living up to the hype he was getting when he was in the minor leagues. In 2021, he lived up to those expectations, mashing a league-leading 48 home runs, batted .311, had a league-leading 1,002 OPS, a 419 WOBA, and a 166 WRC+. He was insane this year and a legit MVP candidate. He is well deserving of winning this award I made up. There were a lot of great managers this year in the National League that were deserving of this award, like Craig Counsell from the Brewers, Dave Roberts from the Dodgers, and Brian Snitker from the Braves, who I almost gave this award to, but I just can't ignore what Gabe Kapler did for the Giants. For the last couple of years, the Giants just have been short of the playoffs and had a lot of players on this team that were considered washed up, like Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, and Evan Longoria. And the Giants weren't even expected to do anything with the Padres and Dodgers in their division. Everything changed in 2021 when they had a league-leading 107 wins and won their first NL West title since 2012. All of that wouldn't be possible without Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, and Evan Longoria reviving their careers, and their pitching, whose starters had a third-best 3.44 ERA and whose bullpen had a league-leading 2.93 ERA. And Gabe Kapler deserves a lot of credit for all of that happening. Of course, they didn't beat the Dodgers in the NLDS, but it was a truly magical year for them, and Gabe Kapler deserves this award for what he did. Now, a lot of you are probably expecting me to say Kevin Cash should win this award since I'm a Rays fan. While I do think he is deserving of this award, there's only one guy that deserves this award more, and that's Scott Cerveris. Now, I know the Mariners did make it to the playoffs, but they were a lot better than we thought. They were having their best year in decades with a 90-72 record, and were hunting for a wildcard spot for a long time. Before this year, they were just the bottom feeders of this league, and not a lot of people thought they would do anything this year. He deserves a lot of credit for how this team played this year, and Mariners fans should be excited for their future. The National League had a lot of great rookies this year, like Trevor Rogers, Frank Schwindel, and Patrick Wisdom, but Jonathan India is the most deserving of the NL Rookie of the Year award. He was absolutely great this year, mashed 21 homers, batted .269, had an OPS of 835, had a WOBA of 363, had a WRC plus of 122, and a 2.03 WPA. Now, I would have given this award to Frank Schwindel because of how dominant he was, but he played way too little games, and I know that reasoning is kind of bullshit, but I didn't feel comfortable with giving a guy who had played less than half of a season over a guy who had played a full year. There were a lot of outstanding rookies in the American League this year, like Ryan Mountcastle, Adolis Garcia, and former #1 overall prospect Wander Franco. But none of these guys had a better season than Randy Arozarena did. He mashed 20 homers, led rookies in stolen bases with 20, batted .274, had an OPS of 815, had a WOBA of 350, had the highest WRC plus among rookies with 128, and had the highest WPA among rookies with 2.21. Now, I know a lot of y'all will will say Wander Franco should win the award. And I wouldn't disagree, but I thought Randy was better overall this year. And remember how I talked about the reason I didn't give Frank Schwindel the NL Rookie of the Year award was because the amount of games he played? Yeah, that factored in for Wander Franco too. But if Wander wins this award, you're not going to hear me complaining, that's for sure. We saw a lot of great relievers in the National League this year, like Aaron Loup, Kenley Jansen, and Mark Melanson. But one guy dominated this league and is really deserving of this award. Josh Hader. Yes, I know he gave up that home run to Freddie Freeman in the NLDS, but he was still outstanding this year, posting a 1.23 ERA, 34 saves. He only had one blown save, allowed 3 homers, ERA plus of 3.48, a league-leading 1.69 FIP, had the most strikeouts with 102, had the highest strikeout walk percentage with 34.8%, led the league with a 91.9 left on base percent, and had the highest WPA with 4.93. He was so dominating this year, and probably the best relief pitcher in MLB this year, and he's well deserving of his 3rd Reliever of the Year award. The American League had a lot of great relief pitchers this year, like Raciel Iglesias, Ryan Presley, Emmanuel Clase, and Brett Phillips. But the guy who should win this award is Liam Hendriks. Liam Hendriks was outstanding this year, posting a 2.54 ERA, a league-leading 38 saves, a 2.34 FIP, ERA plus of 171, league-leading 113 strikeouts, and a league-leading strikeout walk percentage of 39.7. Now, you can make a case for the guys I just mentioned, but I think Liam Hendriks was the best relief pitcher in the American League this year. Now we're getting into the awards that matter a little bit more. Starting off with the National League Cy Young Award. There were some pitchers deserving of this award, like Max Scherzer, Walker Buehler, and Zach Wheeler. But Corbin Burnes is the most deserving. He was dominating this year. Posted a league-leading 2.43 ERA, allowed a league-leading 7 home runs, an ERA plus of 176, a league-leading 1.63 FIP, had 234 strikeouts, had the highest strikeout to walk percentage with 30.4, and a 3.22 WPA. Honestly, you can make a case that he was the best pitcher in the MLB this year. The American League had a plethora of great pitchers this year, like Lance McCullers Jr., Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, and Nathan Eovaldi. But this year's most surprising pitcher, Robbie Ray, deserves it the most. He posted a league-leading 2.84 ERA plus of 154, had a 3.69 FIP, a league-leading 248 strikeouts, a league-leading 90.1 left-on-base percentage, had a 3.31 WPA, and had one tight ass. Okay, sorry about that. Let's move on to the next category. The National League MVP race was tight this year between Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Bryce Harper. Out of the 3 that deserve it the most, it's Bryce Harper. He debunked his most overrated player in the MLB status and had a great year, mashing 35 home runs, batted .309, had the highest OPS of 1,044, had the highest WOBA with 431, had the highest WRC plus with 170, and had the highest WPA with 4.74. He 100% deserves this award. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip the who was amazing crap because I think we all know who should win the American League MVP. Shohei Ohtani. He mashed 46 home runs, stole 26 bases, had the most triples with 8, batted .257, had an OPS of 965, had a Robo of 393, a 152 WRC plus, and had the highest WPA of 5.35. Oh, and he was a pretty good pitcher, posting a 3.18 ERA, only allowed 15 home runs, and had an ERA plus of 141. We haven't seen someone have this kind of year in a long time, and it was absolutely amazing. How many players can call themselves the best hitter on the team while being the team's ace? Okay, maybe Brett Phillips can, but this was an insane year for Ohtani, and he 100% deserves that MVP award, and he might have been the best player in the entire league this year. That's all the awards I have to present. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you disagree with some of these categories, well, just let me know in the comments and be respectful about it. Y'all have a fantastic day, and I will see y'all later.